The Monday Morning Marketing Podcast is brought to you by Esther of IPA Group, bringing premier online promotion to your business.
And Melanie of Stomp Social Media Training, who empowers business owners to manage social media and marketing for themselves.
Welcome back to another episode of the Monday Morning Marketing Podcast. Today we're talking about marketing jargon explained. What do marketers say and what do they actually mean?
Now, we're not going to teach you how to suck eggs, but there are some phrases, there's multiple ways to say the same thing that we've come across over the years. But this is just for some of the more newer people, so that we can all come off and sing off from the same song sheet. So one of my favorite words, because it's one of those umbrella terms, is content marketing. So what's your understanding of content marketing?
Well, where you use content to market.
So, yeah, content is literally anything. And marketing is literally putting it out there. So it's referred to, this would be like a noun of inbound marketing. Okay, so it's a process of creating the content in order to attract prospects and drive interest and engagement. It's not about selling. It's all about educating. And I guess that's pretty much all we do all the time here on the podcast.
It is. And it can be any type of content, images, blogs, videos, photos, infographics, basically anything that you put out there on your, not even socials, anywhere that you have content. So it could be a book that you've written. It could be a webinar that you've produced. It can be a side of the bus that you've got a big poster on it. You know, all of that is content marketing. So you're sending it out there and hoping that people resonate with it and they'll come to you for help and support.
So what's your one?
One of my favorite, well, you see, because I really like reading analytics and studying analytics and stuff, then things like, you know, your KPIs and your like CPM and things like that are ones that I really like. I try not to throw them out there too often because people really don't know what your KPIs stand for. So those are key performance indexes or indicators. So things that you want to measure and study. So say you've got a product to sell. One of your KPIs would be how many of those you sell in a month, for example. So you would want to be measuring that and things. And then the CPM one is cost per meal, which is the cost for your ads of how much it costs you for every 1,000 people that sees it.
See, that's never made any sense to me, the CPM, the cost per meal, because you'd think that would be million, but it's not. It's 1,000.
It's not. Yeah. Well, if 1 million people are saying your things, that's really good. That's probably why, people, all the ad places do it as 1,000, because 1 million, they would take a while to charge you then.
The other one I've come across, certainly as I was looking at products to help me project manage and time manage, would be APIs, which is application programming interface. No wonder they call it APIs. And this is a rule in computer programming which allows an application to take information from a service and use that information either in their own application or maybe in a third-party data analysis system. So you tend to get APIs like Agora Pulse has an API for Facebook, for Instagram, so it means that they can talk to one another and they can bring data across. HubSpot has an API as well. So lots of your tools use APIs in order to talk to other platforms.
Yeah. And well, some people even call them appies, just instead of having to spell it out. But yeah, it's usually your web designer that'll ask you for the API keys or the appies. So if you don't know what they're talking about, just ask. simplest thing to do is just go, I don't know what you mean. Another thing a lot of marketers can throw out without realizing that people might not know what it is your CTA. Have you got a CTA on that? So a CTA is your call to action. So that's your little click here, call me, get in touch, let me know what you think, find out more. All those that you can put anywhere on your marketing. Obviously, if it's a clickable button, then it's even better. If it's on your website and it takes them to your shop front, perfect. Make sure they work. If you're on Instagram, you might need to put something like link in bio and stuff. So just one of those things that some people forget to put on. And we're not saying to put it on everything,
No.
but have your CTAs visible if you're trying to sell something.
There's another term that you may come across referred to as gated content. And so this is where you would come across maybe something on a website, perhaps, and you'll need to do something in order to get to the other side of the gate. So that could either be a payment, or it could be a form that you need to fill in, or a download that you have to complete in order to go through the gate. So gated content shouldn't really be a block, but it means that you have to perform an action in order to reach the other side of the gate, basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that could be a payment. It could be giving your email address. It could be, lots of different things. But a lot of people are opting for gated content now. So that you do have to go through that extra step. If it's right for you, try it out. One thing that we really encourage people to have is a CMS, which is a content management system, and a CRM, which is a customer relations manager. So a CMS and stuff, something like your website, is where you can go in and edit and add in your blogs. And obviously when you're blogging, your website gets updated and people can find you easier. You'll get higher up the ranks in Google. Go back and listen to our SEO chat, which is another marketing jargon term. But the more content you have, the easier it is to be seen. And then when you're seen, people are coming to you and they're asking you questions, and they're filling in to be on your email list on your website, then having a CRM, even I'm getting confused with all the letters, a CRM like HubSpot, like I can't even think of another one. We use HubSpot for our CRM, customer relations, and then you can see if they have contacted you about a certain topic or a certain product or service, and then you can take them through the funnel. Another word for you there. We really don't realize when we're throwing out all these jargon terms. Sure, we don't.
No. And once upon a time, it used to mystify us as well. Now, there's another one I want to go through that's lead generation, and you've used to, and lead nurturing. So lead gen, or lead generation, the process is finding and identifying potential customers, attracting them, and obviously converting them. And so obviously we would start with, what do we offer, and who would be the perfect purchaser for what we offer. And to do that, we need to conduct an awful lot of research. And that helps us better understand how to generate a lead, or a lead gen. Then once you've got your leads, how to nurture them. So lead nurturing. And that's then going from finally getting them on to sign up to something, or to come to a webinar, or commit a download, and then sustaining the relationship over a period of time. And these two would be the beginning of a sales funnel. Okay. And this would be you starting the relationship and bringing people through lots of different ways, through emails, through newsletters, and just building a rapport and a relationship where you can start, I suppose, getting them down to the end where they hopefully buy from you.
Yeah. And on that note too, like Melanie and I have said before, sales and marketing are not the same.
No.
But there is a marketing jargon term called smarketing. Yeah, I kid you not. Smarketing is where it aligns sales and marketing. So if you only have the one person doing both things, they are your smarketing manager. I just find it such a funny term, but it exists. And if you hear about people doing it, or you know of anybody who does both the marketing and the sales, and they have it aligned in a way that it's just easier to flow through the sales process, then they can smart it away.
And as we're using the word marketing, there's also remarketing as well. So that's when people come to your website. So it's classically your website, and it allows, so you can see using your analytics and using, code that's put on your website. So it's normally in the form of a Google tag or a pixel code for Facebook or something along those lines. And then you can target ads to an audience of people who have previously visited your website. One of the obvious ones would be Amazon. They do it all the time. They see what pages you've viewed, and because you've bought this or viewed this page, you might find this of interest. And you can do that with your own page. You don't have to be as big as Amazon to do it. Anybody can do this as long as you've got codes on your website in order to capture the data.
And cookies.
And cookies. Cookies have to be allowed, but that's kind of part and parcel of running a website these days.
Yeah. So, I mean, there are loads and loads and loads. Like, we could go on for hours about all the different, what is it called? When the just letters and the jargon.
Abbreviations.
That's the word. Yep. You see, I keep her around for a reason.
Thanks.
We have all the abbreviations of the day when it comes to marketing, and you don't have to get bogged down in them all. Think about the ones that you need. Ignore the ones that you don't. There's new jargon and slang every day in marketing, just the same way as everything changes on socials every day. Don't be scared. If you don't know what something is, ask.
Yeah, seriously, just ask, because if you don't, you're just going to, especially when you're in this particular industry, it's very public. So ask, Google, whatever works for you. And there's absolutely no reason for you to be bamboozled by the jargon these days. But we gave you some of the more popular ones that we hear and we get questions about, either directly or through messaging. So if there's any others that you can think of, we can do another one. We can do a part deux.
We can. Or a part dos if you speak Spanish instead of French. Anyway, that's it for today, guys. We're back next week with more Monday morning marketing and hopefully a little less jargon. Until then, bye-bye.
Ciao.
How many other languages do we have?
That's me.